Hey there friends, so my log house, it's shrinking all the time, especially in the summer. Every day the walls are slightly shorter. And that's because these logs were green when I started building with them, and logs will shrink substantially this way. But the problem is where these posts are, because a log does not shrink this way really at all. So what happens is, this wall, it's constantly getting shorter as all these logs shrink, which is fine, except for the fact that this post is staying the same height. I have to make a special device so that I can lower all these supports while the house settles. I've wanted one of these metal chop saws for a while, but they're quite expensive. So I bought this one at auction for $39. A box in a box. That seems a bit wasteful. Can you imagine if it's in another box? I need to drill these huge holes through here so I can get this 1.25" rod to slide through. So that's why I bought this drill press, because I've actually built a pile of these tools that I use for log building, and I knew I was going to do all the structural fabrication for the house like this. You know, all the tools you guys have seen me use, these lift the ends of logs or spike them in place. Or this one I use a lot and people were asking about. You can see there's huge holes in here. And I built these with just minimal tools. And what I've always done in the past, I've always drilled those big holes with this handheld drill. And then I wake up in the next morning and I'm like, what did I do? My ribs are just aching because, well, it's not fun at all. But I'm not sure if this drill press can really handle this. It's a very cheap small one that I bought for 140 Canadian dollars. I bought this huge assortment of drill bits and hole saws at an auction sale, and it worked out really good because I got all these quite cheap. There's every size, but there's some beauties in here. Like this is a 1 1/4 inch Walter bit. This bit alone costs more than everything here. I might try this hole saw. I think it might be too much of a pain in the ass to step all the way up to 1 1/4 inch. I'm just trying to warm up my lunch here. Bacon and eggers today, guys. Fuck yeah. That's a beauty. The 2 holes there are the key. Beautiful. That's so awesome. And then this is for the bolts to secure it to the log. See? Well, friends, let me show you how these work here. First, this mounts to the post with the 4 screws, and I would cut it in here. I'll just use this little thing as a prop. You would cut this in so it would be recessed and you wouldn't see it. Then there's a washer and a nut for this thing. So that goes into the post like that, as you can see. So it slides into a hole cut into the post and then bolts into the log above. And then with this big old wrench, you can come and adjust the house as it settles. You see, just like this, either letting it down or raising it up. I need 11 of these when I go to reassemble the log house, but when I looked at ordering them, they were about $180 a piece. Well, shit, by the time I buy 11 of them and then pay taxes on that purchase and ship, like they're not exactly light, so there's gonna be a big shipping bill. I was looking at like $2,500 for all these here. So it's like, you know, damn near $2,000 US dollars. Bought the steel for $16.30. The rod $6.90, about $5 for the nut and washer, $1 in paint, $29.40 for the whole unit, or about $21 US. I saved a pile of money building these, and they are of really good quality. I'm really happy with them. So when I put this temporary post here, there was no way to adjust this post. I should have put a wedge or something, and instead, as the house settled, I had to cut down every post. You can see I had to cut this stand down, and even over here, that needed cut down too. But when I set the log house up on its permanent foundation here, I'll put the nice post and I'll put the screw jack between the posts and the logs so that it can be adjusted as the logs shrink. It really seems like every single thing takes way longer and is way more complicated with a log house, and that kind of brings me to my next complication that I've been thinking about for a long time, which is putting a roof on this house. To invent something here just to be able to mark these roof logs for cutting. But calling this an invention is a stretch. It's not too complicated. I'm not even sure if it's gonna work yet. So just want to have everything ready to go for the spring, so there's as little problems as possible so I can get this house set up and the roof on. There's just so much work to do, I can't even explain it. Okay, this is what I've got. I don't even know how to explain how this works, and hopefully I can show you how it works here really soon. So soon, friends, we're gonna be staying in this house, which is just awesome. I'm really excited. But first, I gotta like clean this shit up because these logs are very discolored. You can see here, they got a lot of gray. So I think what needs done is they need washed and then sanded and polished before, or blasted, before I can stain them. And then the fun part is I got all these samples, all these different colors, to test on the on some logs here to see to pick a color, which is kind of fun. So we're gonna do that right away. Get the tractor stuck out here. Why do I live here? I have something like 30 samples here, so it's a bit excessive, but this one is a natural color, a light color. So I'm gonna try it. A lot of people will really like this one, I think. Each color of stain looks so much different depending on what wood you're using. This one's a bit yellowy. It's kind of that yellow gold tone to this one. Some people's cup of tea, not everyone's. I'm quite hopeful for this one, which is a hazelnut. I tried a hazelnut in a different brand, and it's this one is so much different. It's quite likely I'll end up doing a lighter color inside and a darker one outside for quite a few reasons. There's so many options, it could be a little overwhelming. When I first started, I was like, oh my God, I am not good at picking colors, but been working at it for a while. I'm looking at all these colors, I got another 10 over there, but you just work at it and you kind of figure out what draws you in. I'll be curious to ask you guys which ones you like. And you look at some of these and you're like, well, a log house would look nice in that color. But then you got to match up the flooring and the rock work and the cupboards, and that is where I really don't enjoy picking the colors. I can look at a kitchen and say it looks nice, but I'm not very good at that, so I'm just trying to do what I can. I've done 2 coats. See how nice some of these are looking, and then I'm painting a clear coat on them too to really get a taste of how it's gonna look. You can see how that one shapes up. So friends, before I tell you which ones I like the best, I would love if you would tell me which one you guys like the best. These are the light colored ones. You know, this is a natural color. It's very close to what the wood looks like when it's first peeled. And I really like how, you know, a fresh log looks, or sanded wood looks. I love the natural color. Getting into this one, a little more yellow. This is a wheat. These ones are actually lightening the log, like this is actually adding some white to it. And then that's a hazelnut, this is a bronze pine. They're kind of a little more colored, but all very, you know, you could do a lot with all of these. I would love to hear, friends, if you told me which one of these is your favorite. And then I'll get you to help me pick a dark one too. I got these 3 here. I don't really know how to explain them. They're a little bit orangey, and this one gets right down to like Dorito orange. Funny enough, those 2 right there are actually the same. These 2 are actually the same, just different brands of stain look so much different. Honestly, I really appreciate a lot of these colors. I am kind of drawn to a lot of them, and that's basically what I've been trying to do, is just see like which ones kind of catch your eye and really honor the wood, I guess. I don't think I would dislike a log house that was painted in any of these colors. I like a lot of them. These 2 here are actually the same, just different clear coats, as well as these 2 just have a different variation of clear coat. But please, friends, tell me which one of these you like the best. I'll show you a little better. These are oil-based stains. The rest are water-based. They both have their own unique advantages. One thing I do really appreciate about this oil-based stain, especially with the natural there, is it gives a much shinier look than you can get out of a water base with clear coat. Some of these I tried, they just weren't quite what I wanted, like the dark walnut. This is not bad, but I didn't think these were going to be as gray as they were. This is one of those projects, it's just so much fun. It's so exciting to envision the log house looking possibly one of these colors. I cannot wait for that log house to be shined up and polished and painted like this, and there's just so much I'm so excited for when it finally, the weather turns nice here, friends. It's March. We got a long ways to go, but I'm chomping at the bit, ready to go. Well, I'm snowed right out of my place. So I gotta walk in, plow this shit out. Okay, let's get this plowed out. Now I gotta walk back and get my truck. Somewhere out here is the air compressor I need to fill up tire on my truck. Oh geez. That is my air compressor. Unreal. So friends, all I'm trying to do is get my trailer out here so I can go pick up the new machine I just bought, which I'm pretty excited about. But the severity of the winter here is making this a several-hour job to plow it out and pull it out of the snowbank. Okay. Joyful. Okay, hopefully that's enough of that because I've had enough of shoveling. Joyful. My trailer deck has seen way better days, man. It had this layer on top of this, which is a little bad. I was picking up a Facebook Marketplace deal. It was a couch to save a lot of money. Those things are damn expensive. New, nice couch. The guy who was helping me load that I bought it from, he stepped right through my fucking trailer. I swear to God, right here. And that's when I kind of realized, like, I better tune this up a bit. Like, this shit is bad. It won't be long before I need my crane out here lifting logs. But I've been having trouble with the outriggers on this crane. They're not working quite right. And it costs me a lot of time when I'm trying to use the crane. So it's controlled by this. And in the different positions, it moves all four corners. So left, right, back, left, whatever. And I notice this thing is pretty fucked up. You can see it goes in this ball here and then it pushes in on these, which put hydraulics out. Now, I hope the threads on the ball itself are good. But you can see the threads here are not good. So it comes loose and then it doesn't work properly. Wonder what I can do about this here. This off. Now, if this was just a stud, this would be super simple. It must go all the way through. So 3/8 bolt. There. 3/8 16. So I found this bolt, friends. It's the same thread on it. You can see. I'm just gonna cut this off and try and attach this bolt here. I got to trim a little bit off too, but not the prettiest bit of welding I've ever done, I'll tell you. Okay. Set this back exactly where it was before. There we go. Now we'll go see if we can lock this thing in place. Screw my new threads in here, and then I gotta lock it on if I can. Perfect. See, now that's tight and it's got good threads. Before you would tighten it up and it would come loose then, and then it would not be tight enough. You wouldn't even know if your outriggers were coming up, and the odd time they wouldn't, and I'd drive. Oh shit, so this is $1 million. My scaffolds need repaired quite badly. They're only meant for indoor use. Then I've been using them outside and the plywood is just destroyed on them. Piece of shit. You just can't use plywood outside. Perfect. Well, this is way better now. Not only is it way sturdier, friends, but now I can use it inside and outside without any worry of it deteriorating in the weather. I got them both fixed now. You know, guys, I love this trailer. I use it for lots of stuff. It's so nice to load a quad and fencing material in the back when I go around fence or something. I also use it lots to haul now materials that I use to build the house with, you know, all the lumber and everything. It's really handy to have. The deck is totally ruined and I need to fix it right away because I'm going to pick up a machine I just bought that I'm pretty excited about. So I got to get it home safely so I can show you guys. So I got these boards and we got to replace this deck. I also lost one of my ramps when I was driving. So I bought some steel to build a new one so I can actually drive my machine off the trailer. Get the measurements here off the old one. A very simple design. I'm just copying what's already there. Just some angle iron that's inside the slots of the C-channel. Two foot 30. I've learned that if I fix my mistake after the first time I make it, I'm in pretty good shape. It's when I keep trying the same damn things. This was originally held on with a linchpin, but then in heavy snow this came off and my ramp is in the middle of the bush somewhere. So instead I'm gonna put on some quick links here and tighten them up. Perfect, now that ain't going nowhere. Oops. This trailer is a little weird because it's got 1.5 inches in the back, so you can slide the boards in here, just barely. But they welded this on top, so it actually won't fit underneath or in the front. Hey friends, so people have been taking some of my stuff lately. Some friends have sent me now clips of, on Facebook and on TikTok from my videos, but I did not give my permission to put them there. They're stolen. And it's just like anything else that a guy works really hard for. It's very upsetting and frustrating when someone just takes it. I'm not on Facebook or TikTok personally. I avoid the platforms for a lot of the same reasons why I choose not to put my YouTube stuff on there. I much prefer YouTube platform. So without you guys, I would be none the wiser and I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. I really appreciate it if you can send it to me. I have an old Facebook account there for Traplines and Inlines takes messages. You send the link on there or email, or also even just in a YouTube comment. That really helps me out, because then at least I know about it and can do something about it or try, and reporting it really helps. So thanks friends, I appreciate it. We'll get right back to the video. Looks like a brand new trailer here now, guys. It's time to put the boards on. This helps protect the end grade in the most critical area. Shit, I'm a little bit tighter than I wanted to be. I thought I was supposed to have 2.5 inches of gaps with this. I'm a little tight. Got a little more over there, but I gotta make sure I have a gap here for it to expand and contract. However, they are pressure treated, so they come at a high moisture content and seem to shrink quite a lot. Yeah, see, this board's just about 9.5 inches. They're supposed to only be 9.25. That's why. I am being way too fussy for how much time I have. Perfect. These are floorboard screws specifically for this, and well worth buying. Can't see nothing. Gotta try not to go too crazy because I'm gonna be working in the dark to get this done. But once I bolt this down, the boards are never really going anywhere, but they're gonna warp in the middle if I don't fasten them. So try and put a few. Now I don't gotta worry, guys, when I go get my machine tomorrow that the damn thing's gonna fall right through. It's a hell of a drive. And every time I'm getting materials too. It's just, I'm so happy to get this done, and all these other jobs that take so much time away when it's spring. Getting as much ready and working on as many details as I can before the spring comes, and I just won't have time for things like this, and they get left on my list for 2 years. But I'm so ready for spring. It's quite a ways off yet here, this far north, but I'm so ready to get started on the big projects on this build. Thanks for watching, friends. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope to catch you all on the next one there, show you my little machine, but don't get your hopes up too high. It's nothing too crazy. Okay, I'm done now. Time to clean this shit up.